Now at 8 o'clock on WKYT this morning, investigators in Franklin County are trying to figure out if a double murder and a suicide are connected. The details on that case ahead.
1 week ago today, 49 people died in a mass shooting at an Orlando nightclub. We'll look at how thousands came together to honor the victims during a soccer game.
And there's a petition going around Louisville to change the name of the city's airport. What the new name could be, coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's off to a great Father's Day so far.
You've got a good day ahead of you.
Absolutely. Mike Linden standing by with a look at your Sunday morning.
A literal look, Sean. I mean, check out the live sky camera here looking toward Winchester. A beautiful start so far to our Sunday morning. If you have a tea time out there to spend some time with Dad on the golf course, well, it should be great weather for you. The winds are low. I know it wouldn't help me very much out there. I am not good at golf at all, but regardless, it is still very nice out there to hit the links. A look at the Defender radar network. The clouds are beginning to come back a little bit. Nothing that should really impact your morning all that much. If we take a wider look, though, high pressure still off to our east, keeping us relatively dry, although because that has shifted away from us, that is allowing for that moisture from the north to work its way back into the bluegrass state. Temperature-wise, the low 70s, upper 60s. It's beautiful outside right now. Very comfortable weather. But of course, today, at least officially, is the final day of the spring season. I know it's felt and looked like summer for quite a while, but coming up, I'll take you into the first official day of the season tomorrow and show you the first bumps in the road for the official start to the summer season.
Mike, thank you. Investigators in Franklin County are trying to figure out if a double murder and a suicide are connected. Deputies found two women dead inside a home on Pea Ridge Road Friday night. They say someone had shot both of those women in the head. Our news partners at the Lexington Herald Leader report Frankfort police are investigating what looks like a suicide. They found a man's body at a home on Washington Street. Now, police think the two cases are connected, but deputies would not talk about that possibility.
There should be a medical examiner report Monday, and the sheriff is planning on giving a little more detail than what we have at this point.
Now, right now, we don't know the names of the victims, but the State Journal reports two of them are related. The Franklin County Sheriff asks that if anyone has any information on these cases, to contact the Sheriff's Office at that number you see on your screen, or you can text a tip or message the Franklin County Sheriff's Office on Facebook.
1 week ago today, 49 people died in a mass shooting at an Orlando nightclub. Thousands of people packed Orlando's Camping World Stadium for a soccer game yesterday. It's the first major event with a big crowd, since the deadly attack. The crowd sent a powerful message. People wore the colors of the rainbow. The tribute comes as families lay several of the 49 victims to rest.
Hopefully it shows unity and that we're there for the families and the victims, that we stand with them.
Thousands are expected to gather at the city's main lake for a fundraiser and vigil today, marking the 1-week anniversary of the shooting. The victims of the Orlando shooting were on the minds of people at Louisville's Kentuckiana Pride Festival. Organizers expected between 15,000 and 17,000 people to attend. They had extra security out there after the Orlando nightclub shooting. Every person who entered the event had to go through a bag check and get an armband. Now, Lexington's Pride Festival is next weekend. To see how the city is increasing security for that event, head over to WKYT.com.
Sheriff's deputies in Johnson County have arrested a man accused of shooting at his wife and child. Deputies say 24-year-old Charles Blankenship came home high on meth. They say Blankenship and his wife got into an argument, and they say he shot at his wife 3 times. She and her child escaped.
I came to smoke a cigarette, and I heard a just bang, bang, and I thought, that's a gunshot. And I knew it came from this two-story house down the road here.
We're told Blankenship would not come out of the home. Deputies and state police eventually went in and arrested him. Deputies said they found several pills, a bag of meth, and marijuana. State police in southern Kentucky are searching for a shooter this morning. Around 1 o'clock Saturday morning, troopers found a man in the middle of Right Fork East Creek Road in Knox County. They say someone had shot him. They took him to a nearby hospital where he died. Now, a man who lives in the area says 3 people came up to his door looking for someone. Moments later, he says he heard gunshots outside his window. We don't know the name of the man who died.
In Nelson County, a second person injured in a crash earlier this week has died. The sheriff says Jessica Clowers was a passenger in a minivan that went across the median of the Bluegrass Parkway and hit a semi. Douglas Clowers was also a passenger. He died Tuesday. Now, we do not know the condition of the driver of that van, and the driver of the semi was not seriously hurt. State police say one woman is dead after a crash in Pike County. Troopers say Frida Taylor tried to turn onto US 119 from Kentucky Route 292, but ended up pulling out in front of another car. Taylor died from her injuries. Troopers do not think she was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash.
In Colorado, police say a mountain lion attacked a 5-year-old boy. That boy was listed in fair condition as of last night at a local hospital before being transferred to a Denver hospital. A spokesperson for the Aspen Valley Hospital says the boy's mother fought that mountain lion off and then took her son to get treatment. Officials caught and killed 2 mountain lions that were near the area where that boy was attacked. Fish and wildlife officers will examine those lions.
I do want to encourage folks to understand that while this is rare, it is not completely uncommon. Here in Colorado, we have unfortunately had 3 fatalities to lions since 1990, and since 1970 we have had 18 injuries reported to the agency.
The last known lion attack on a human there in Colorado was back in July of 2015 when a young lion attacked a fisherman. That man had minor injuries.
Ford says it is knocking a week off the traditional 2-week summer shutdown at 3 SUV plants to handle increased demand. The company says it will use the extra week of production to make another 22,000 SUVs. That includes a plant in Louisville. Now, a petition is going around Louisville pushing to rename the city's airport for Muhammad Ali. The petition on change.org wants the Louisville International Airport to become the Muhammad Ali International with the 3-letter airport code ALI.
Muhammad Ali was a connector of people, and what do airports do? They connect people.
The airport is going through a major renovation project right now, and the executive director of the Louisville Regional Airport Authority says a name change decision rests with the board. He adds that changing an airport name is really not that uncommon.
All right, 8:07 now on your Sunday morning, and WKYT This Morning is just getting started.
At his Las Vegas rally, Donald Trump says it's time for Republicans to rally around him. We're on the campaign trail with more on this ahead on WKYT This Morning.
And why did that chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
Maybe it was to escape police. That story's coming up after Mike's forecast.
A great start so far to our Father's Day Sunday. Coming up, I'll take you through the day and show you what the first official day of summer looks like tomorrow.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
No matter where you look to get our Sunday morning started, things are looking great. It's Father's Day Sunday. It's also the final official day, at least calendar-wise, of the spring season. And again, our Kentucky weather cameras all looking great as we get our Sunday morning started. The Defender Radar Network really not picking up on very much, although there are some scattered showers beginning to pop up close to the Clinton County area. Nonetheless, nothing that should impact your Father's Day all that much today. High pressure is going to try to do its part in keeping us free of most of the showers, although as that has shifted off to the east of us, that is now allowing for that moisture from the north to work its way back into the bluegrass, and with it we should see some additional cloud cover out there today. Now, a few days from now, we'll be looking at this cold front to our northwest working its way into the bluegrass. That should bring us active weather, but we're still quite a few days away from that happening. Temperature-wise, as we get your Father's Day going, the low 70s. Wonderful if you want to get the yard work done early for Dad, or if you're hitting the golf course early this morning. Things are great. The winds are nice and calm as well. Temperature-wise, things are just a little bit warmer than where we were yesterday, and this is a trend that's going to continue for the next few days, continuing to warm up. Now, speaking of warming up, that is obviously what we will do into our afternoon today, getting back into the lower 80s by noon, and then continuing on into the mid 80s once again for daytime highs, much like where we were yesterday. As far as the rain goes, or at least these showers are concerned, if you do see them, they'll be very short-lived. This is simply that moisture returning returning to the bluegrass where it hasn't been over the past 24 hours. Back into the evening hours, this is 8 o'clock, the low 80s, upper 70s, beautiful, even into the late night hours of our Father's Day. But to kick off the summer season, things are going to get interesting. The low 70s to start our day and back into the mid to high 80s for our daytime highs, potentially even the lower 90s out there tomorrow afternoon. Not to mention it's going to feel muggy out there as the humidity makes a comeback as we work our way into the middle of our day. Tuesday is when that front gets here, but notice, look at Tuesday morning to get started. The mid 70s, that's the warmest of the next few days. But into the afternoon, that's where things do start to get a little messy. That front diving in from the north, pushing in that active weather. You can almost see how distinct that line is there with showers and thunderstorms pushing across the bluegrass, not to mention temperatures that are going to be quite warm in the mid 80s. That means instability and that means thunderstorms, and those will stick with us almost all day on Tuesday. A messy day, and it looks like that may continue into our Wednesday too, but that's really the only hiccup here in the 7-day forecast. Father's Day, wonderful, the first day of summer. While warmer still looks okay, it isn't until Tuesday, Wednesday that we hit that minor bump in the road. But if there's a silver lining to all of that, it's that cold front coming in should knock those temperatures and humidity back down on Thursday and push us back into the upper 70s. So you always have to try to find the silver lining in weather, and at least for today, that silver lining, well, no matter where you look, things should be looking pretty good for dads out there today.
Yeah, looks like a great week overall, really.
Yes.
All right, good deal. Thanks, Mike.
So you've probably heard this question 100 times. Kind of a bad joke. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Yeah, we actually have some video evidence now. There he goes. In Texas, this chicken was crossing the road to get away from police. Freeport police posted this video of that chicken fleeing from an officer. Police said the officer lost sight of the bird near a chicken restaurant. Maybe that's why that hen was so anxious to get away. You can see that officer going after him, trying to get him. He's going under that SUV there. The bird gave him the slip and managed to get away. Police don't know who owns that chicken, and they still don't know why chickens need to cross the road.
To get to the other side.
There you go. To get away from the cops. To avoid chicken restaurants. All the above.
I like that one.
8:15 now on your Sunday morning, and when WKYT This Morning returns.
At his Las Vegas rally, Donald Trump said it's time for Republicans to rally around him. We're on the campaign trail ahead on WKYT This Morning. And Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $333 million. Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $184 million.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. It's 8:18 now on your Sunday, and here's an update on our top stories.
Last night at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, MLS team Orlando City honored the victims of the mass nightclub shooting. Section 12 of the stadium was filled with 49 balloons for the 49 victims who lost their lives 1 week ago today. The players came onto the field to the Beatles song All You Need Is Love and were wearing the purple t-shirts with the hashtag Orlando United.
Former Vanderbilt University football player Brandon Vanderberg was found guilty for his role in the sexual assault of an unconscious female student. The Tennessee jury deliberated for 4 hours before reading the verdict last night, guilty on all counts. Vandenberg now faces up to 25 years in prison for aggravated rape, sexual battery, and unlawful photography. 2 other people have been charged and are awaiting trial. They have pleaded not guilty.
And the break for crews fighting western wildfires is expected to be short. Firefighters caught a break overnight as gusty winds died down, but the region is now bracing for sweltering heat. A 4-day-old fire in California coastal canyons is only 45% contained. About 270 homes and ranches are at risk. There's also a massive wildfire in central New Mexico. The National Guard is watching evacuated communities there.
Out on the campaign trail, Donald Trump says some Republicans are still out to get him.
And Trump says the group is trying to deny him delegates, and he's threatening to stop fundraising if Republicans don't rally around him. Juliana Goldman has the latest on the campaign.
And we're going to beat Hillary. And it would be helpful if the Republicans could help us a little bit, okay?
At his Las Vegas rally, Donald Trump said it's time for Republicans to rally around him. Trump noted he spent the last few days raising cash for the party to defeat Hillary Clinton in November and said attempts to deny him the nomination at next month's convention would be illegal.
Now you have a couple of guys that were badly defeated, and they're trying to organize maybe like a little bit of a delegate revolt. Who are they going to pick? I've beat everybody. But I don't mean beat. I beat the hell out of them.
In the wake of his response to the Orlando terrorist attack, the presumptive nominee is once again under fire from Republican leaders.
This is a very strange situation. This is a very unique nominee.
In a new interview for Meet the Press, House Speaker Paul Ryan said he won't tell House members whether or not they should support Trump.
The last thing I would do is tell anybody to do something that's contrary to their conscience.
Recent polls show Trump's favorability ratings plummeting, including one showing 70% of Americans have an unfavorable view of him. As always, Trump is brushing off the negatives.
We have by far the most loyal followers. Right?
All right, it's 8:20 on your Sunday. There's still more to come this morning.
Sports is next.
The NBA has sent out invites to 14 players for the upcoming NBA draft. And what is the outlook for Alex Poitras? We discuss next in sports.
A great start so far for Dad here on Father's Day. The clouds are back, but nonetheless, it still looks like a wonderful afternoon. Coming up, I'll take you through the day and show you what the afternoon holds for you. Getting started here on Sunday morning with yet another great day. Starting early on, there's some cloud cover returning back to the bluegrass. And if we look along the southern Kentucky line, just some isolated showers. Nothing that really is going to impact your day all that much. And if we take a wide look here, high pressure is doing its part in keeping us, for the most part, mostly sunny. Although because that has shifted to the east of us, that is allowing for this moisture to work its way back into Kentucky, and therefore we are seeing the additional clouds early this morning. Temperature-wise, the low 70s and upper 60s, very comfortable as we get our Sunday morning going here on Father's Day. A good start to the day if you want to get out there and maybe mow the lawn for Dad before you head out to lunch or even out to dinner later on. Speaking of which, 87 degrees for your daytime high out there today. So it is heating up out there, but nonetheless, mostly sunny skies should make for a very good looking day, even into the evening hours. 82 degrees by 8 o'clock. That is wonderful. And as far as heading out to the pool, well, it looks like that should also be quite nice for you. 87 degrees for the high, warming up a little bit for you, and humidity is beginning to rise. That's all ahead of what looks to be an active start to the summer season into your Tuesday. But today, the upper 80s, a great day to get outside. Now, of course, it being Father's Day, it'd only be appropriate if we send it over to a soon-to-be father, Lee K. Howard with sports.
Two Kentucky Wildcats are among the 14 players invited to attend the NBA draft next week. Jamal Murray and Skal Labissiere, both are projected as lottery picks. Here are the 14 players invited to the green room at the Barclays Center, according to Yahoo Sports. Tyler Ulis, you see, did not receive an invite, but he is expected to hear his name called in the first round. Yahoo is reporting that as many as 3 more players could be added later today. Alex Poitras has been the busiest Wildcat over the past several weeks. He's worked out for the 9 NBA teams, including the Dallas Mavericks today. He still has scheduled workouts with the Celtics and the Clippers before Thursday. Draft experts have been saying Poitras has improved his stock and could possibly creep into the second round on Thursday night.
I think he's a possible second-round pick because he's an elite athlete, and I think he can defend multiple positions. And I actually hear he's shot it pretty well in workouts, and that's what he projects as a guy coming off the bench, playing great defense and hitting some spot-up threes. If he can just do that, I think he has a long career in the NBA. It's the question about, will he be a great three-point shooter that teams are concerned about.
Randall Cobb says that he's starting to feel a little bit old. The 25-year-old was one of 15 players named to the veterans list by Packers head coach Mike McCarthy and excused from Packers mandatory minicamp this week. Instead of practicing his game, well, Cobb spent 2 days in Green Bay with little kids this week hosting a football camp. Cobb is staying active during the offseason, though, with training camp just about a month away.
You know, right now it's all just helmets. Once we get back to training camp, it's about putting the pads on and getting after it and start building our team, 2016 team, through minicamp or through training camp. But you know, this time right now, going leading up to training camp is where we get in our hard training and our intense training and being prepared whenever we get back for camp.
Always good to see those guys giving back. That'll do it for your morning sports. Have a happy Father's Day, everyone.